Hi everybody, it's Sajana giving the after preaching sermon tips video. Today I was able to preach at the Lord's Church Waco Young Adult Ministries. I preached from the text about the woman caught in adultery found in the book of John at the end of chapter 7 through chapter 8, verse 1 through 11. I was honest with the church in basically saying that my reason for preaching on that, actually, I was going to preach on it weeks ago, but the reason for making sure that that was something that I would preach on this year was because whenever I had, for two reasons. One, it's a story about the radical, and I didn't use that word, but it's a story about but it is like the amazing grace of Jesus. Actually, I said like the amazing grace shown by Jesus to the people. So I was honest to the church in saying that my background of this text is that every time I heard it preached, it was usually left me with a residual feeling of shame of being a woman that, like that woman, the sinful woman who was engaging in this act of adultery, as if with no mention that there was another person involved and like, where's the other person? Nothing. And so that's always bothered me. And so I wanted to bring this text up because I wanted to look into I wanted to do my own study for it. And so in my sermon, I've just present some other thoughts that commentators have shared about the text, just rounding it out a little more, so that the focus isn't only on this sinful woman, but also on the Pharisees. So that's the sermon. I hope that you'll check it out when it becomes made available on their church website. And of course, I'll link it in my blog at sojanashines.com/preaching. So what's the word to share with other ministers out there? I guess a part of it is to share, to know the reality of that we are affected by, like, we are both the religious leaders that have our own agendas, in a way we are. And to know, because of that, we just want to keep those things in mind. And so for me, I told the church about my background with this. I just touched on it in saying that I was trying to, give more to the text besides that. But also, and I didn't talk about this, but I'm going to tell you, I also am feeling tired. I am tired. Yesterday I went to a funeral. It was a beautiful, I actually enjoy going to funerals because the words that come out from the families, or, just what happens in a funeral is just enlightening. It's usually filled with a lot of wisdom and words that we want to keep in mind as people who still walk the earth, and actually I thought that I would weave some of what I gleaned in this sermon, but it didn't come out, which is fine. But just like me, myself, I attended a funeral, but then also I got to spend time with some people I used to go to church with. So that was encouraging. It was just good to like be seen and to spend fellowship time with others, and to also make a choice to sit with people I didn't know, because I saw someone sitting by themselves, and I just, I got to learn some marvelous things about how God works in people's lives and through personal story. And so I never would have known anything about that person or her husband who eventually joined us. Like, I wouldn't have known anything, but because I I did what I naturally do. I see people who are on the margins by themselves, or just kind of, and I go to them, just kind of drawing to that. So I enjoyed that. And then from there, yesterday I went to life group, which our church has started this month, and well, I'm just getting to know these people in my home church a little more as well, and just see sides of them that you wouldn't know if you just see someone one day a week, That plus I've been traveling all week last week, and so I had to make up time at work, and I have some transitions going on, and just been tired. Lots going on. Not to mention just the thought of just trying to get into the text and thinking about the adulterous woman, because I've read it several times and I didn't want to distance myself too much from the fact of what is it saying. And it kind of made me think of some of these videos that I'm seeing currently in 2025 in October of people getting taken because of immigration reasons, immigration status reasons. Just a lot, and other ways that people are treated inhumanely in the name of keeping the law. I thought, how much do I share here? How much do I talk about? And just the weight and grief of that. What I tried to do was I tried to bring that in somehow. And so actually this Sunday I did something I only did it one other time before, but I used a picture which was shown on the PowerPoint slide behind me on the wall. I showed a picture at a certain point. It was a picture of a painting. The author was credited, and I'll include that in my blog too. And it was just kind of like, I hope that could help stir something within them. But I think it was too far away and you couldn't really see it, and so I don't know. And I felt distracted, just thinking about the fact that the order of what I was going to say wasn't completely set yet, and I was still in my mind trying to figure that out. So at the end of it though, I said, God, this is what I prepared. You know how I prepared. You know how I've thought about this text for weeks, and here we go. Here it is, God. I don't know what the students heard, what your people heard, Lord, but I need you to take that and make something out of it, God. So that's what it is. That's what we do, right? We prepare the word in faithfulness as best as we can in these vessels. And we give the word like this, like, God, I need you to do something with this. Like the loaves, right? We give what little we have and God multiplies it. That's the hope. And I have no power to do the increase. That is not even my lane. It's not my lane. My lane is to do this, and I did it. So, preacher, you did this, right? You labored in faithfulness, and the Lord will take that and may God bless it to feed the people, to give them what they need for this season. That's my prayer and hope. And so I'm going to choose to rest in that. I'm not going to think any longer about how did that go. I don't have the recording. It's out there. It's done. I do want to learn though and get better, but what's done today is done. And I pray that God will do what God will do with it. So, preacher, That's Sajana's sermon tips after preaching today on October the, what is today? 19th, 2025. Preaching on the passage about the woman caught in adultery. I hope you'll check it out, and maybe something in there that I share might be new to you or interesting to you or stirs something up within you. I hope you check it out. Until then, blessings. Bye-bye.